In June, the Roman Catholic Church wrapped up its worldwide Year for Priests, a celebration that collided with explosive news of sexual crimes against minors in much of the Western world and the dismal or immoral response of particular bishops. That such realities are aired should be embraced. At the very least, victims deserve to have their stories heard. It is, after all, a Catholic tenet that the truth will set us free. Similarly, many other truths should be brought to light. Untold tales about the Catholic Church, its 400,000 priests, and the faithful, like me, that they serve. For 20 years, I was a vehement ex-Catholic who had serious doctrinal and personal issues with the Church. But because of one priest's invitation to reattend Mass, and then to answer my questions, and then, thanks to a series of other priests who all took the time to confirm, debate, and clarify the inner logic of Catholic teachings, I find myself, some 10 years later, writing these sentences in defense of Catholic priests and the Church for which they'd given their lives. But to defend the good, one must affirm the obvious. No priest is perfect. None I know are free from the sins that also affect you or me. This reality speaks to what Catholicism proclaims. God works in human history using as his tools the miraculous, yet to us quite commonplace and fragile, created world and its people. Priests are ordinary men who respond to a supernatural call. They take an immense leap of faith, one far greater than I ever could, and, having leapt, must live up to impeccable expectations. They must be all things to all people at all times, a goal that, by the grace of God, a few almost achieve. Almost. But, being human, never entirely. Then again, the great good accomplished routinely by priests usually, and rightly, occurs unnoticed and unspoken. But there it is, sharing the suffering of those who would otherwise die alone, baptizing a baby born with only days or hours to live, comforting parents, counseling couples, consoling prisoners, allowing anguish to be washed away with the graced words, "I forgive," preaching the gospel and confecting the Eucharist so that believers may share in Christ's own death and resurrection. Yes, many of us have stories of that one priest who was unkind, unavailable, or unreasonable, and yet, in tough times, all priests are in high demand. Death, disease, loss, the agony of one wrong choice, or the unending sorrow brought by unstoppable addictions prompt people again and again to knock on the doors of Catholic priests. What they seek is not rooted in superstition, as some would claim. Rather, they search for a good that transcends worldly wisdom, one to which priests bring a human face and voice. Much of all this can and should be said of all clergy, religious sisters and brothers, as well as consecrated laity and the average person in the pew. But Catholic priests have always been different. For 2 millennia, their message and witness have, somehow or other, been countercultural. This is why, at crucial moments in many lives, like mine, a priest can confront us with this difference. They can invite us to alter our orbits. In my case, I wonder what opportunities I would have missed if my former life continued without that one priest asking me why I didn't attend Mass, without his listening to my answers and inviting me back anyway. For many good reasons, such stories shouldn't make headlines. Nevertheless, it ought to be recognized that there are countless souls among us who have priests to thank for introducing them to the mysteries of a worldwide family, a community of saints and sinners that supports and guides each other toward that ineffable someone who dares use the sacrifices of the imperfect to build up perfection in others.